Good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're here not really for a good occasion, but in the end of May, we received over 1,100 pieces of return mail from the U.S. Post Office. Some of the mail was dated back from 2021, where we attempted to get notice to people for court dates, eviction notices, and things like that, and it was return to sender all at one time. So within a 3-day span, we received 1,100 plus pieces of mail that just said return to sender. The process for court documents is when we get something returned to sender, we're supposed to put it on the docket so that the judges can make informed decisions about the case in front of them. Did the person show up? Should we issue a bench warrant because they didn't come to court? Should we move forward on this eviction because they didn't show up? Well, they didn't have proper information because we didn't know that the notices were not delivered. As a result of that, I reached out to Senator Ossoff's office to inform them of the pieces of mail that we received. And from that point, I wanted to do a partnership so that we could get to the bottom of this. I just needed some help, and so I reached out, and that's why we're here today. We want to make sure that you guys understand how important this mail is. We had another example this morning. I know you all are really familiar with the murder that happened in Buckhead not long ago. There was a bond hearing scheduled in Judge Cross's courtroom this morning, full of victims. The courtroom was packed. Well, the attorney didn't get proper notice, so there was no court hearing today on the bond hearing. Jail overcrowding. I can go on and on about the impact that this has when people are not properly noticed. We just thought that we needed to bring it to the public's attention, and I'll turn it over to Senator Ossoff.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Thank you. I am grateful to Madam Clerk for bringing this matter to my attention. As you see here, and what Madam Clerk reported to my office, more than 1,000 pieces of official court correspondence, some of it dating back years. As the clerk explained to me, much of it within the last 6 months, undelivered to Georgians with urgent matters before the court that could impact their liberty, that could impact cases that have grave implications for them and their families, that can result in eviction without receipt of an eviction notice. Again, what the clerk reported to me, over 1,000 pieces of official court correspondence returned to the clerk of court in a single 3-day span. And I want to emphasize again the real human impact when Georgians don't receive correspondence from the court. This impacts their liberty, this impacts their property, this impacts the efficient functioning of the courtroom, this impacts the judge's docket, this can impact potentially overcrowding in the jail, disrupts the normal course of business, an efficient course of business for this court. So what I'm announcing today is that I have requested a formal investigation by the Inspector General of the United States Postal Service into this report from Clerk of Court of more than 1,000 official pieces of court correspondence returned to sender in a single 3-day span earlier this year. I am asking the Inspector General to vigorously and rapidly investigate this in full, to bring answers to me, and to bring answers to impacted Georgians about how this could have happened. These are not mailing catalogs. These are not solicitations for sales. This is not extraneous material. These are official court records and documents and correspondence. And so once again, I'm asking the Inspector General of the U.S. Postal Service to fully investigate this matter as I continue to apply maximum pressure on Postmaster General DeJoy and the management of the United States Postal Service to well and fully serve my constituents in Georgia. Just one final note before we open this up for Q&A. I want to express my gratitude to Madam Clerk for bringing this to my attention so that I can exercise my oversight authorities on behalf of my constituents. This and everything that Georgians have been dealing with for the last 6 months demonstrate the urgent need for much more intense, much more robust, and much more sustained oversight of the U.S. Postal Service and its management. That is what I have been doing. That is what I will continue to do to ensure that Georgians are well served. We're happy to take questions from the press. If you have a question about this matter in particular and the facts that the clerk has discovered, we'll refer you to the clerk. If you have a question about my request to the Inspector General to investigate this, I'll answer that. And Daniela will call on you, please.
That's a good question. As the clerk of court, my duty is to make sure that you're properly served. The judges will have to rule on those cases accordingly. Now that this has been brought to their attention, they may be more lenient. I can't speak, for the judges, but there's nothing that we can go back and do. I can't go back and say, oh, well, he wasn't properly noticed and he shouldn't have been evicted because the damage is already done. It's really sad, but it's nothing that we can do at this point. The only thing that we can do is to make sure that for those cases that haven't been to court yet, that the judges know that they didn't get proper notice, that they did not get proper notice. They know every document had to do overtime. The whole team got together, and every document that's there has been notated on the docket. So, but most of it is stuff for court dates that have already passed.
Well, in this case, I'm asking the Inspector General of the United States Postal Service to fully investigate that. Inspectors General should operate with independence from agency leadership. I will sustain my pressure on Postmaster General DeJoy to improve service and timely delivery of mail to my constituents. When it comes to this matter involving over 1,000 official pieces of court correspondence returned to sender over a 3-day span, I'm asking the Inspector General to undertake a full and independent investigation.
Mail delays are causing problems across the board. If today a bond was granted for the individual that's incarcerated, he would have been released from jail today. The bond hearing didn't happen, so he's in jail. So that's an additional body. So the impact of jail overcrowding, the impact of people being evicted, the impact of someone missing their trip, it doesn't matter. All of it is just as important, but I believe that these mail delays are causing a lot of issues for us in Fulton County. That's a great question. Moving forward, we are putting some things in place. We're doing our own postage. I'm having staff drive to the Crown Road Post Office to take the mail so that there will be no disruption with the distribution of it. So we've tried to put that in place. I encourage every citizen that can hear my voice, if you have any business in Fulton County, we publish everything on our portal. I would randomly, every other day, once a week, check the portal to see if there's a hearing scheduled. for your information. And so that is the only other thing, that we make sure that the information is accessible. If you have a court hearing and you know you have some business in Fulton, I would go to the portal to check to see if there's a hearing date, even if you did not receive notice in the mail.
For Senator Ossoff, it's already been going on for months. How much longer should the public expect to have to deal with these delays? I know our station has report on things like absentee ballots that have gotten lost. We're coming up on another election that costs us money. You're going to have to worry about any idea of when this goes on.
I am continuing to insist that USPS provide my office, and therefore the public, with routine updates on their progress improving the timely delivery of mail. I will continue to apply maximum pressure on Postmaster General DeJoy to resolve these severe delays and to bring delivery of mail in Georgia into order as swiftly as possible. I want to remind the public that the Postmaster General serves at the pleasure of the Board of Governors of the United States Postal Service. Neither the President nor the Congress can remove him from that position. What I can do with the authorities that I have as a sitting member of the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee is to demand transparency, to apply pressure, and to conduct oversight. That means oversight conducted directly by my office and my staff. It also means, as I'm doing today, getting the Inspector General of the USPS involved. Richard has a question. Oh, okay. All good? Thank you all for coming. Thank you.